What's up folks, and hope you're having a good day as usual. In this video we will commentate and play the video of my 82 percentile purple pass on warrior in a pug group at, I believe, eye level 455 or 456. This video will kind of give an insight to how I go about improving, and will also benchmark the DPS on my channel so that next time when I get the orange pass, fingers crossed, there will be a nice progression from this video to the next one, whether it be through items or optimization or different party comps. So with that being said, let's play through the video, see what went well, what didn't go too well, and what could be improved on. And this will be just an insight to how I improve for fights. So this is a pug setting, so we will commentate as we go along on this. Standard opener, I use both of my inner chaoses at the start with a shake it off to try and help lower the damage there. So I'll make sure to stack for this. Any soaking up any damage helps. So I raid in a super softcore group, so we raid Tuesday and Thursday for 2 hours, and we're about to kill E2S. So if we don't kill E2S on the Thursday, people are free to go and pug the other turns if they want, so it's a quite nice, relaxed, flexible group in that regard. So this was my pug kill on warrior in the main tank slot. So for puddles, I keep the boss really centered. I used to take him north. However, it gave a lot of trouble for the DPS on south to hit the boss, so as you can see, I leave a lot of room between me and the north puddle so that they can hit the boss. Here there's nothing too crazy going on. Shadow Eye is going out, so for this I just generally wait for the Shadow Eye to go out, and then as soon as Hellwind starts getting casted, so that I don't turn the boss, I will stack with the party and face the boss's rear. And then go into another inner release. Now the problem is, I think here I use Vengeance a bit too early. I'm not going to have it for this tank buster, so all I've got is raw intuition, and I'm not top, so what it means is it's very close to almost dying. You can see the panic home gang there, so I should probably save my raw intuition for that bit. Not raw intuition, my vengeance, just in case. Standard stuff, move opposite of the tether. Because it is the B uptime strat, I used to center the boss here when I was moving. However, the closer you can keep it to B for the uptime strat, the better really. So I don't go through the effort of trying to stretch the boss across the arena and then reposition him. I just rotate him back near B, and that's generally enough for the most part. A good tip for these weird ads that cause a lot of issues: sometimes you can see where the Protean, aka the black wave, doesn't go, and if you remember that, you can dodge it a lot of the time. Here I've actually got ample mitigation for that, so that was no issue. Amazon. So we've got flares about to go out. There's a few things I could do here. I could try rotating the boss so the back is to B. There's a few different ways you can do it. But for this one I was just going for clean. Go for a clean kill. For this part I'll always readjust the boss before the Shadow Eye goes out, because it's quite annoying when the boss is stuck and then you have to move it as the puddles are going out. As you can see, this way it makes it a lot easier to move the boss, a lot cleaner in my opinion. Sure to dodge the eye. I used to die to that mechanic all the time when I was learning this fight.
Tank Buster, you wanker.
This one I've got Vengeance, and I've got a Divine Bension, which seems to do the job. I had a Adlo as well, pretty good.
Amazon.
For this, I run a bit closer to the hitbox. If you remember the Tank Academy hitbox video, the closer you are to the boss, the more you get hit by AoE.
Protean.
So up until now, there's just rejig the Vengeance at the start. Look at my rotation again, because I think I might have not infuriated at one point earlier on.
Get in.
But other than that, nothing major in terms of what I'm doing wrong when I'm looking at this at the moment. Just a few positioning tweaks here and there. DPS is still above 8k, which is pretty decent for this eye level. This area is a bit dodgy because I had 2 stacks of Infuriate before inner release, so I definitely need to practice my inner release uptime.
Tank Buster, you wanker.
I don't have a ninja, so it's not a huge deal. There's no TA going up every 60 seconds. But certainly if there was a ninja, I probably would have need to set a standard for how I use my inner releases. I let eye drop off a bit there. Minor problem, I need to fix that. Could have got an extra GCD here. You see I'm waiting. Yeah, could have easily kept my GCD uptime there. So that's one area I need to look at. I lose a little bit of GCD uptime there. Could have kept it by a split second. I'll start moving about 6. The other tank's provoked, which is vital because you don't want to move the boss into the corner. It's very painful for the whole group.
Battle Litany.
Interesting. BA goes up there. BL.
Tank Buster, you wanker.
I don't have a huge amount for BL. Actually, I should have my 2 Infuriates. It's actually infuriating me that I'm not using them sooner. Yeah, okay. So I need to look at my uptime for that double flare phase because I missed a lot of Battle Litany there. And I had 2 stacks of Infuriate, so I need to make sure I look at where I can use those. Eye is refreshed on 1, that's alright. I decide to use my second Infuriate there, which annoyingly isn't on any raid buffs. Basic reposition here. I'm guilty of standing in the puddle here a bit too early, taking unnecessary damage. I should not stand in the puddle until the very last minute. So that's a big thing. I put that more as a major mistake to fix for the healer optimization. So that's something I'll definitely fix for the next run.
Tank Buster, you wanker.
This one I just go YOLO home gang. Healer recognizes it and bennies me. Pretty standard. So we should have a Quietus coming up. This first Quietus, in my opinion, it doesn't require any tank mitigation. You should save your mitigation for the big ones at the end. This is more of a diet Quietus than a heavy one. So for this one, I do not mitigate it. Also, I don't think he should have used Heart of Light there either. He should have saved it for the later ones. But I think, honestly, at this point, we're on point to kill it. Before we're at 77k raid DPS, so you can imagine what BIS groups will do to this. This phase I definitely need to improve on. I focus on dodging the ads, which was successful, but I lost some uptime on my rotation. This one uptime seems pretty good so far because it is the easier mechanic. You can see I am panicking slightly because I'm using Storm's Eye with 13 seconds left. That's bad. I had a lot of time to do a path in there. So that's one area to optimize. Here I shake it off, the other tank reprisals. And then for the next one, I would reprisal the next one, and then I would expect him to do his Heart of Light for the other one. Side in Protean. Again, this one more of the easier one. You see the little space where the black lines weren't? You can stand there most of the time, in my experience. BL goes up at the end, and that's all she wrote. So thankfully we killed it before these horrible 3 quietuses. Reprisal goes up there anyway, which is good. So yeah, overall, just give me a sec. Overall, save the vengeance at the start. I could probably start writing a timeline like I do in my Timeline Tank Academy video for pugs. I know there are guides out there for how tanks mitigate this, but for me it's a lot more fun, for me personally, to figure this out myself in a pug or a raid group. As a tank, it's really fun for me to plan my own mitigation around stuff, so I'm not going to look at those just for the sake of... I kind of like to do it myself in that regard, so definitely I could save that vengeance at the start, because I went down really low. I could probably get a lot more home gang usage out of this fight for certain tank busters. So I'll have to look at that with the timings of home gang. I refreshed my Storm's Eye a bit too soon on 2 or 3 occasions when it could have been a Storm's Path. And throughout, I think my Infuriate usage could have been a bit better. Maybe I should stick to doing it as if there was a ninja, even when there isn't one, so that I can hit battle litanies a bit better. But again, that's all for me to practice on the training dummy, to review this footage again in my own time and take some notes basically on where I can improve. So this is essentially what I do on each fight. This was my E2S one. The pass was a purple, which is classed as a very good pass. However, orange is the usual standard for being really, really good. So purple definitely shows potential, but orange is that goal, which I believe is 95 and above. So I feel as though if I didn't make any of those mistakes, I would be closer to 90, but I don't think I would be above 95. I think I need a bit more gear for that, or a different party comp. But we shall see. The next video I do of E2S will be when I do get that orange pass. And to keep synergy with this video, I will compare what's different from this video. Stuff that I've learned. Was the party comp different in raid DPS? Was my gear, was my eye level different? So I'll document this stuff. And the next video relating to E2S will be when I do get that 95 and above, which will be in the orange. Next video of this sort of thing I will do is for E1S as warrior, most likely. And we shall have a look at that one, see if I can get purple or orange, and then do a commentary on it. It's usually a lot better if I get purple first, because then there's lots to improve on. Getting orange first time is not as fun. So I certainly have a lower eye level for that, so that's quite nice. So yeah, just an insight to how I do stuff. If you've got any tips for this fight for me, let me know. Equally, if this has helped you out, let me know as well. But yeah, this is my process to improving in the solo player environment. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.